Top 10 fragrances for partying in Vegas, specifically during summer nights. We just came back yesterday, and I'm gonna say even at 10, 11 past midnight, it was still 100 degrees outside. So I wouldn't suggest wearing sweet fragrances again when you're partying during summer nights because it can get cloying. And if you're walking to these resorts and these clubs, you're gonna be getting really sweaty and it might get a bit too cloying. So going for a fresh option that has decent longevity is always the move. So we got feminine, masculine, and unisex scents here. All right, so we're gonna start with Aqua de Joya by Armani. And I actually smelled this on a girl at the club and it was so good, all right? When you smell fresh and you smell sexy, it's just like an undefeated combination. To me, Aqua de Joya is kind of like, almost like this like fresh out the shower shampoo sort of smell. Like, you know, after you hop out the shower and you smell great with your shampoo and your conditioner, and then the smell it disappears after like 10, 15 minutes. With this, it smells like you just hopped out the shower for like 6 hours. You know what I mean? I will say I would spray more of this if you're really gonna stay out till like 4 a.m. You know, don't feel bad about overspraying this fragrance because it's not gonna get that nauseating, especially if you're constantly moving around. It can keep up with you, but the projection here is what's decent. This is definitely a fragrance that you notice within those first couple hours. It's just pushing itself out there. And then maybe after like the 4th hour, it's a lot closer to your skin. But yeah, don't feel bad about overspraying this fragrance. It kind of has almost like a melon sort of smell to it, like a maybe like a watermelon refreshing scent, but really good, just an easy pull. The next fragrance is Afternoon Swim by Louis Vuitton, and I see this as a very unisex fragrance. It's an orange citrusy scent, and to me this is like a sex in a bottle type of fragrance because it's so simple and it's so effective. It's the type of scent, and by the way, I have tried a few fragrances now that have this type of DNA, with the exception of Tigar by Bulgari. Haven't tried that one. But they haven't really scratched the itch the same way Afternoon Swim has. And I think that's because with these other scents, they try to add a little bit more complexity to it, some powderiness. But this fragrance to me is just better. It's sexy. Everybody loves this scent. It's just kind of like a do no wrong type of fragrance. Now, longevity is tricky here because I hear very different reactions from people. I have followers like myself that they could still smell this on themselves the next day. Like, we're talking past 8 hours, past 10 hours. And then there's also people that say they can't smell it after an hour. But the thing is, you have to remember with fragrances, it's going nose blind is a common thing. You smelling yourself every second of that wear time is not really going to be possible. There's going to be moments where it pops in and it pops out. There's going to be moments where it will completely disappear to your nose after 30 minutes, but people around you can still smell it. And again, it's a normal thing. I've went over this in a lot of videos previously that you can check out on my channel. But it's just a simple orangey fragrance. And I don't know what it is that's so attractive about this scent, but it thrives in the high heat. It thrives like crazy. So for me, Afternoon Swim is a fantastic choice. Next up, we've got another unisex fragrance. This one is Molecula 1. And Molecula 1 is an absolute banger, all right? This fragrance, it's a gamble. We're talking Vegas. It is a gamble because it's an ISO E super scent. So it enhances your skin chemistry. Now, this fragrance has gotten people a lot of curious compliments because they, for one, a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot. Some people can't smell this on themselves. They think there is no smell, it's non-existent, so to them it's not worth it. But there are people that can't smell themselves and people around them are just non-stop complimenting them. They're like, wow, like, what are you, like, but they don't know how to compliment it because it doesn't really smell like a fragrance. It just smells like you naturally smell good, and that's intoxicating, you know? So like, that's the tricky thing with Molecula 1 is it's not something like with Afternoon Swim that when you smell it, you're like, okay, yes, I smell orange, right? This will vary from person to person. On me, I get more of the laundry clean type of reaction with this scent, and I actually use this as an enhancer. So let's say you have something like Aqua de Joya, and you're like, damn, I don't want to spray too much of it, but I want it to last. then just spray Molecule 01 on top of it, and that will help with the performance of this fragrance. So Molecule 01 is a smart fragrance because when you don't move around, when you're not being active, it's not as noticeable. But the second your body starts to heat up, it starts projecting. Like, this thing makes itself known. And to me, it's so good. This fragrance, it just like, whenever I'm active, whenever I'm out and about under the sun, whatever it is, it smells great. But this in a club, or just this summer nights, Vegas in general, is a great fragrance to throw on. Whether you want to pair it with anything or just rock it by itself, it's going to give you a unique signature scent. Because you're going to be in a club, you're going to be elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder with so many people that are going to be wearing their fragrances, right? But when you wear this, even if everybody in the club were to wear Molecule 01, they wouldn't smell the same. There's still going to be there's going to be noticeable differences with people. Like, if you're the fragrance person in your group and you just bring this scent and your friends are like, oh damn, I didn't bring something, can I throw some of that on? At the end of the night, or even, you'll notice it quickly. Not everybody is going to smell the same. Like, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, that person's wearing Molecule 01, that person's wearing Molecule 01. It just doesn't work like that. So for the people looking for the unique signature scent, I would go with this fragrance. Performance here is over 8 hours. And again, it pops in and it pops out. Just remember that as a norm, but really good scent. Okay, next up, we've got a more masculine fragrance here. This one, I say masculine, but I actually know a woman that wears this. This one's called Ocean Noir. I think its reputation is more masculine, but yeah, like if you're wearing, let's say, a black button down and you've got on something like Ocean Noir, which is just sexy ocean vibes in a bottle, then I'm just going to keep it short. This is the kind of fragrance that you want. Longevity here is actually, like, I smell this on myself past 6 hours. So again, with all these fragrances, I'll tell you the ones that you don't have to overspray, but this one, like, you can go a little bit more heavy if you want, but it's still going to be decent. Like, spray on your skin, spray on your clothes. With all of these, I suggest also applying on your clothes just to help with the longevity. If you want to apply it in your hair, you can. Some people don't want to do that because they're worried they're going to dry out their hair, whatever your preference is. But again, sexy ocean vibes in Ocean Noir. Bring the ocean to the desert. That's what you got to do when you rock a fragrance like this. And by the way, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid to promote any of these brands. All thoughts and opinions are my own, in case I did not disclose that in the beginning. Next up, we've got Delena by Parfums de Marly. Honestly, I was contemplating putting this fragrance here because Delena has a sweetness to it, all right? This is a lychee rhubarb fragrance. Lychee is just this exotic, fruity note that isn't prominent in too many fragrances. To me, this is kind of like a trailblazer feminine fragrance in that regard. It's what made lychee much more popular to me, again, to me. And rhubarb is a little bit of a sour note. And then I think there's a little bit of rose in this fragrance as well. But the dry down can be a bit tricky here. But I kept it on this list because Delena performs. This is an 8 hour plus type of fragrance. You're gonna be fine. People will smell you with this. It has the scent trail. It has all the perks of the sweet, sexy scents that you want of, okay, people will be able to smell you. You're getting the head turning reaction, but it can also duel as like a versatile, fresh scent as well because of that lychee. You know, so this is the type of fragrance that can do it all. My sister brought her Meliora and she smelled fantastic, but the fragrance did get a bit lost on her because it's very fresh, but the performance isn't as good as Delena, which is why I'm putting Delena on this list instead. But this one is a massive compliment getter. I'm sure that you've probably seen so many reviews of this fragrance or so many people talk about it if you're in the fragrance community, but it really is it's a fantastic niche fragrance. If you just want one niche feminine scent or one fragrance in general, but you want it to be on the niche side and you want it to be a scent that you can wear anytime, anywhere, I would say Delena. But wearing this to the club when you're stunting in like your sexy dress is gonna be just the power you hold. You know what I'm saying? All right, next up, I gotta separate these. Okay, next up, we've got Blue Agave. by Precious Liquid. So Blue Agave. Damn, this one, it's like, think of what I said with Ocean Noir, where it gives like sexy ocean vibes. But it's like, to me, this is like sexy beach vibes, but you're also you're getting drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're drinking agave, you're drinking tequila, and you're also like, you're just having the time of your life. This to me is definitely a Vegas fragrance, for sure. Like, there's something, the name of it is Blue Agave, first and foremost. But it also has like this sea moss in the dry down that adds just a little bit of sweetness to it. But let's say you're dancing with somebody, right? And they're like getting closer to you and they already kind of smell the freshness blasting off of you. And then they also, like, the closer they're getting, if they're like on your neck, they're smelling just a touch of that sweetness, and that becomes really intoxicating. To me, this is such an easy dumb reach fragrance, a dumb reach masculine scent. I think out of the Precious Liquid fragrances that I've mentioned, the easiest blind buy would probably be this scent, again on the masculine side, because it just gets nonstop reactions. This is the type of fragrance where you're a masculine person, you go to a club, you're like, damn, I want a fragrance that the ladies are gonna love, that the femmes are just gonna go crazy for. Then you just pull out something like Blue Agave. It will just get the job done for you. It's not complex, it's very easy to like, and at the same time, it's not the type of fragrance that everybody around you is wearing. I will probably guarantee you, like, even when we went to Omnia, right? There's thousands of people at this club. Nobody was wearing, I didn't smell this fragrance on anybody that I passed by when I was on the dance floor, when I was going to all the different rooms, whatever, just walking around the whole entire thing. I did not smell this fragrance at all. Again, majority of people don't even wear fragrances, but if you want to separate yourself from people that are already wearing fragrances, then you roll up with something like Blue Agave that is going to be a huge crowd pleaser. It's going to be a memorable fragrance, and it's also going to be something that's not going to be cloying and overbearing for you as the wearer, where you're not like, damn, it's getting a bit strong for me, I got to step out, get some air. No, you'll be good the whole time with this. Trust me. Next up, we've got, okay, I did that one. We have, come on. You read it? Do you read it? Hachibot by Nishane. Now, I was again contemplating putting this fragrance on the list, similar to Delena, because, well, first of all, performance here is beast mode. This is a beast mode fresh fragrance. We are talking over 24 hours of performance, and that is not an exaggeration. The next day, even for me, when I've worn this fragrance and I would shower and just try to scrub it off, it still somewhat lingers. And this is an extrait de parfum. This does not play. I think we're talking like 30% alcohol. You know what? I'm not gonna say that just in case, but this thing goes. All right. So it has that typical Creed Aventus pineapple accord in the opening, like a fresh pineapple-y scent, but the dry down is more oak moss. And this is where it gets tricky for people. This is more of a masculine fragrance in my eyes. And this has gotten nothing but love from women. They just, especially with the scent trail, this is the type of fragrance that grabs attention. It's not something that you have to wait to get closer to. This is something that, boom, you smell it, damn, who's wearing that? You know, it's an instant attention getter. Now, the only complaint I've heard about Hachibot have come from men that say they don't like the oak moss dry down. But again, with women, they love it through and through. With me first applying this within the first hour, first 15 minutes, it's getting compliments, and the next day, it's still getting compliments. So maybe the oak moss, it's something to do with the skin chemistry with certain people, and it's just not smelling the way you expect, but just know the oak moss is in there, and that would be the only challenging thing about this fragrance if you're a guy. But again, this is just like, this is the perfect fragrance to wear to Vegas. Even when you're just going out throughout the day, if you want something noticeable, but again, for like the nighttime, when you're just you want the scent that is going to supersede all the others in terms of performance, then you go with Hachibot. Because I guarantee you, out of you and all your friends or whoever you're there with, you are probably going to have the longest lasting fragrance in the entire group. And I will bet money on that with this scent. Next up, we got another feminine fragrance. Well, this one actually, it's pretty unisex. It's pretty unisex. But then when I smell this fragrance, to me, it's like, I want to smell this on like a girl. Like, this is like a baddie type of scent, like a surfer girl, like hot surfer girl, hot surfer guy. All right. So yes, if you're a guy, you can easily pull this off as well. But just in my eyes, what I'm visualizing right now is you have that, like, you know, you have your hoe it out dress on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not trying to play it safe, but you also want that fragrance that's going to keep up and be fresh and not just get that's not going to smell bad when you're getting sweaty. You know, it's not going to turn overly sweet. This fragrance right here is just, I think there's melon, there's coconut water, there's lemon zest in this fragrance. It's like you're kind of bringing like a tropical vibe to the club. And it also kind of gives shampoo vibes as well, like if you're just fresh out of the shower. But it's so likable and it's so easy. You know how I said with Blue Agave, that's just the easiest blind buy on the masculine side? To me, Turquoise Water is just the easiest blind buy if I had to go through a general scope, like of everybody, you know, whether you're a guy or a girl, like it's just the easiest to blind buy from that brand in particular, because it's not the type of fragrance you can hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only hate with this scent would be, oh, it's not polarizing, it's not complex, it's, you know what I mean? It's not challenging. But again, when you're at the club and you're with thousands of people and you're hanging out with your friends, you're meeting new people, all of that, you're not looking to wear a challenging fragrance that's gonna make people have thought-provoking ideas. You know, you're looking for something that when you're around people, they're like, oh shit, that person smells really good. You want it to be an automatic love type of fragrance. And Turquoise Water is an automatic love type of scent. So this performance will go over 10 hours with this fragrance. And it's also the type of scent that if you're watching this video, you're about to go to Vegas, you don't have to worry about, okay, this will just be my Vegas scent. It's not really going to be helpful to me in my day-to-day. No, you could still wear this as an office fragrance. You can wear it as your beach scent. You can wear it as your working out fragrance as well. It will just have so many, it's multifaceted, you know, but it's just such a plus that this would work in an environment where it's nighttime, there's no sunlight whatsoever, but it's still hot as hell and you want to be smelling fresh and sexy. So Turquoise Water is great for that. Okay, a couple more here. We got my baby Elysium. Okay, now Elysium has an interesting reputation because the smell is great. The smell is just, on my skin, a lemon pineapple cocktail. Now, the Achilles heel of Elysium is the performance of this fragrance for some people. There's people that don't smell it after 90 minutes, don't smell it after 3 hours, but for me, I still smell this and get complimented on this fragrance past 6 hours. And 6 hours to me is great timing, like when you're about to go out for a night. You know, if I'm wearing a fragrance that won't perform past a couple hours, like Pacific Rock Moss, then like, of course, I'm not going to touch that, right? And for me, just a quick tip, by the way, when you are applying your fragrances, do it right before you leave. Before you go out you step out your hotel room door, that's when you apply your fragrance. You don't have it sitting on you for an hour and then you head out. Like, make it as fresh as possible. But Elysium, that's the thing. It's hit or miss with people in terms of longevity. But the scent of it is just so sexy. And to me, you can overspray the hell out of this. Now, this is more of, maybe between masculine and feminine, more of a masculine fragrance, I would say. But this one is just such an easy go-to fragrance for me. It's the type of scent that will, when I'm stepping out, I know I'll throw on Elysium and get positive reactions every single time. It's just, it has secured itself that reputation. I mean, out of all my bottles in my collection, this is my most used fragrance, and it's probably going to be the one that I finish first. If you could see the juice there, it's perfect. I'm not going to drone about it anymore, but I will say again, like, it's perfect. And by the way, if I didn't mention it before, discount codes, discount link for these fragrances are going to be in the pinned comment in the comment section or in the description box in case you guys want to save money and support the channel. Of course, buy where you're comfortable, but I just want to have that option there for you in case. All right, lastly, Light Blue Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. This one is the women's version, And I'm still going to put this as a unisex fragrance because, come on now. This scent, even though it's marketed to women, it can be worn easily by anybody. This is the best flanker of light blue. There's a masculine light blue, a feminine light blue, a masculine light blue intense, the feminine light blue intense. They have light blue forever. They have all of these different versions of this fragrance. This is the best one. It's a lemon apple musk scent. Performance here is over 8 hours, and this is just a sexy freshie. And it's a very accessible fragrance because I know that I have majority niche fragrances here, which is hard for a lot of people to come by. But this, y'all can pick up at Sephora. You can pick it up at your local mall, local perfume shop. They will have their hands on light blue intense. And again, I am specifying the intense for women. That's the one, not the regular light blue, because whenever I talk about this fragrance, people are like, oh, well, yeah, I don't like light blue though because it doesn't perform. And I'm like, light blue or light blue intense? Because I'm talking about the intense. And they're like, oh, I only thought there was one. I meant the regular. No, this is the one. This is also a pretty heavily used bottle, both of these. But this is double the M. I think this is 100 ml. This is 50. Yeah, this is 50. So light blue intense is just, it's too easy. It's one of those fragrances that you don't have to think about it. I don't want to keep using the word dumb reach, but it's seriously, if you're packing and it's last minute, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get one of my fragrances. What do I grab? Just grab light blue intense and throw it in your bag. And I promise you, you're going to be fine. The people around you are going to love the way you smell. You are going to love the way you smell. The more your body heats up, the better this fragrance gets. This is also similar to Blue Agave, where the more you sweat in it, the better and better it gets. It doesn't become murky. It doesn't become, okay, well, this is getting a bit overboard. It's kind of like the equivalent of having a tall glass of cold lemonade on a hot summer day. You know, yeah, like it's citrusy, but there's just the right amount, like a touch of sweetness to it that makes it the perfect refreshing beverage, right? That's kind of the same thing with this fragrance is, yes, it's citrusy, but it's not going to smell like bathroom cleaner. That's an issue with a lot of lemony fragrances. People get that type of association, but they also get that association because they don't know how to apply the fragrance. What they'll do when they test it, or they'll just like spray it super close to their wrist where it's running, the juice is running, and they smell it like that, and it straight up smells like alcohol. And they're like, oh my gosh, that smells nothing like she said. First of all, you don't apply it super close where it's dripping, and you don't even give it a chance to dry down. Like, you have to give it some space and also like kind of let it settle before you put it to your nose. But let the fragrance breathe for a bit. And also, don't spray it and then rub it on your wrists, rub it behind each of your ears, because, I'm not going to get into that, but I've made videos on why you should not rub in your fragrance. It can change the way that it smells. And for me, I've tested it with this scent. I've tested it rubbed in versus not rubbed in, and it smells way better when you don't rub it in. And I actually say that for all the fragrances. Every fragrance smells better when it's not rubbed in, because it's going to naturally just get your skin the way it needs to be. You don't need to like add that extra heat to make sure it stays there. You don't got to do that, all right? So again, those are the top 10 fragrances. Discount codes, discount links in the description box and the comment section if you want to support. I will say I do get a little bit of commission if you were to use like codes and stuff like that. If you don't want to, it's totally fine. All right. I hope y'all have a great day. Have fun. Be safe. Drink a lot of water when you're out there. All right. Take care. Bye.